And then at 9 o'clock was Cody Rhodes. And again, boom, out he comes. The big response, the whoa. He literally kissed a baby on the way to the ring. Did you see that? They found a baby somewhere, and he's there making over the baby.
Before you go any further, I'm just going to say this right here at the top. A few more weeks of this, he's dangerously close to becoming Bob Backlund in terms of just squareness.
Yeah.
And in these promos, it's like a kind Moxley at times. Like, what is he even saying?
Well,
why would anyone want to be behind him other than the fact that they already are? He needs to be like directed in a certain, I don't know. He needs to be, Cody, just talk about this person and what you're going to do, not platitudes, not comments for all the people everywhere. Just don't do that anymore. While you're dressed like you're running a Nickelodeon in 1855 or what the fuck? I don't, they weren't back then, but you get the picture.
he was the heel in the Around the World in 80 Days cartoon. But no, they're chanting Cody and they love it. But yes, and he points out the big crowd and it brings them into it, and that's great. And he cut a promo on being the first crown jewel champion, and they're pushing that ugly ass belt. But he's like, what if Harley Race had faced Bruno Sammartino? What if Nick Bockwinkel had faced Ric Flair? Goldberg versus Austin. At Crown Jewel, there will be a definitive Crown Jewel champion. And he started talking about Gunther. And that's where I think this is it. He's not being too much of a baby face. He's being too much of a... He's crossing the line into a little prissiness. He's doing the Dusty cadence, but he's not doing the Dusty having a beer like one of the boys type of thing, you know.
Because Dusty wouldn't have worked as well if you thought the Dusty character's life goal was to go to Harvard.
Yes, there you go. Dusty's character's life goal was to beat up everybody that graduated from Harvard. But, you know, Cody needs his daughter to know that he's the champion. And he invited Gunther to SmackDown next Friday night so that he can ask him, hey, champ, what do you want to talk about? He's kind of smiling and smirky and I don't know, like you said, he can be a very good babyface, but there was nobody here to juxtapose with, to counterpoint him, to bully him so he could be the sympathetic figure. And it was a little verbose and a little snooty. I started to say uppity or snooty, and it became snoopity.
The problem is Cody practices talking in a way that doesn't sound natural. And then once you do that and you start putting words that if people used in everyday conversation, it would sound more natural. And it creates the problem.
But because they don't.
Yeah. And I think that's, it's a little bit of the Moxley disease sometimes with Cody. He wants to say things that in his head sound good. Maybe when he's letting people check out his promo in advance, maybe they say it's good.
Workshopping.
But it doesn't come across well. It doesn't work. And it makes him seem pretentious. And that's not what you want the top babyface being. If they had the thing that would kill Cody is if they had a cool babyface that people suddenly got behind. Like, that's where I compare him to Bob Backlund. Bob Backlund worked big time. And then once Snuka got there, it was over. He had another year and a half or so as champion. Didn't matter. Everything had changed. You had seen someone cooler. There's no one like that right now, so Cody's safe. But if he keeps just doing this, I think you're going to have a problem.
You know what? He seems like he represents the state to me. He's a statist.
A state? What state?
The state of confusion anymore. I don't know. He's probably on the side of the big bankers.
He's dressed like he owns like a nice building in the Wild West. Like, what the fuck is the whole... What is the look? What is it? What is the look?
P.T. Barnum if he was a good-looking, tall, blonde man. But no, that's the fashion at the Copacabana, the hottest spot north of Havana.